Welcome to Open Book with Amanda, where we're going to discuss relationships, career paths, our wealth, our health, and our mindset on things that we're struggling with on a day-to-day basis. Daily, we face some type of obstacle, and sometimes we struggle with how to figure out how to make it better, how to get past it, how to make our life a little less stressful. I created this channel so that we can have a platform to discuss different scenarios and things that happen with our life, and so that we can start rewriting those chapters in our life. Today, let's open the chapter of mindset. Mastering your mind, your mental wellness. Your mind is everything when it comes to your life, because that's what you use to handle and weed through obstacles that you face on a day-to-day basis. You think things through. And some things, it comes automatic to you because it's what you got a habit of doing it. But other things that come about to you, it comes at you at a way that you wasn't expecting it, then the mind can tap out, or it can leave you stranded, so to speak, sometimes. And I say that because sometimes you think about it if you have a bill to pay and you don't got the money to pay it, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to pay it, it goes to your mind. But let me tell you something. Everything is linked together when it comes to everything you do in life. And like I said, it starts with the mind. And if you let something stay on your mind too heavy and too strong, it starts to lead and connect into other parts of your body, and it starts to affect you. Whereas it can actually cause your body to ache because you're worried about something so badly that you can't take care of when you want to take care of it. But let me tell you something. You can meditate and calm your thoughts, or you can take deep breaths to calm your thoughts so that it don't overwhelm you. Because if it ever starts to overwhelm you, it's going to go into your heart. And when it goes to your heart, you're going to get emotional, and you're going to start feeling stressed. You're going to start maybe sometimes end up taking it out on other people, and you don't want it to lead to that. So when you're going through these things, then it starts with how you're thinking it through. How are you taking steps to accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish, so it don't worry you no more? Because we know you on this earth, you're going to have to pay bills. That's just a given, unless you're a child. But once you reach adulthood, then you know that we have to take care of bills. Now, what kind of bill you have to take care of? A lot of it is on the choices that we make. Now, the main bills, is having a roof over your head, having water, lights, and food. Because food to me is a bill. Because I have a household of 5. So there's definitely that got to be a portion of the money that you have to take care of the bill and your groceries. Now, depending on your house size determines what is your necessities that you need to use to buy the groceries you need to buy, and how much you're going to put on your bill. Either way, you want to be able to decipher how much you're going to put on the bill and decipher how much you're going to use for your groceries. Maybe you can take and cut the amount of money that you're going to use to pay on the bill right now, and maybe cut it in the thirds and pay that third part there, so you have enough to buy your groceries. Then in the middle of the month, you pay another third, and in the end of the month, you pay the rest of the bill for that month. So that way you can balance out everything else throughout the month. I know sometimes it can be hard, because sometimes when you work and you make money, you want to buy something nice for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you have to keep those priorities in check, because if not, then it's going to fall. It's going to cause you to fall short on the things that you're trying to do, and then it's going to make life a little bit more stressful again, because you're not following through on the things that you might need to follow through on just because of a splurge or something that you want. Another example of things that might bother you, and it starts mentally, then it starts feeding into other areas of your life, is you might be a woman that has become pregnant, and in your mind, you're thinking that your parents is going to think that that's a disappointment. Your significant other might not even want children. And because that happened, you start lingering in your mind. And then after a while, it starts lingering to your heart, which causes you to stress out. And really and truthfully, that's not good if you're pregnant. You feed your child whenever you're pregnant with your emotions, with your love, with your hate, with your anger, whatever you're going through during that time. So when you find yourself in that state, you want to take the time to take a couple of deep breaths in and out, and think about what it is that you want to do and how you want to tell these people in your life that you're going through this, because that's your support system. And sometimes we tend to think that things are going to go one way and they end up going another when you open up and talk. That's another thing with mindset that a lot of people struggle with, is because they feel like if they talk to somebody about it, they're going to look at them at a different angle. They're going to look at them in a way that don't feel appropriate or whatever. But my motto is to be an open book about your situation, because sometimes somebody might can give you a solution to help you out. It's nothing wrong with struggle. It's nothing wrong with if you have a struggle and you need some help with it. I mean, we all go through it. It don't matter if you're the poorest of the poor or the richest of the rich. We all struggle with something, and a very good way to handle those type of situations is to open the book of that area of your life and talk to somebody, even if it's a stranger, even if it's somebody you don't know. Sometimes just getting that off your chest can relieve a lot of stress that would have built up in you in the long run, because you didn't open up and let somebody know how you feel, and you just don't know how to handle it. I think a lot of this day and age, a lot of us take on so much, and we don't want the world to know that we're struggling, and we want the world to think that we can just handle every single thing, and that nothing in the world bothers you. And that's so untrue, and it's damaging you mentally, and it's damaging you emotionally. Open up and talk to somebody about your struggles, that the things you're going through. If you have a career choice that you feel like your parents are just gonna bash you for, talk to somebody else about it, because it's something that you got to live with, the choice. They don't. When I was younger, I used to feel so trapped, because I felt like I was supposed to do what my parents wanted me to do, not what I wanted to do. And each time I felt that way, the more and more I felt deeper that I was falling into a hole. But when I decided that okay, this is my life and I got to live it, then the choices didn't matter what came from somebody else of what they felt like my life's supposed to be about. I had to make that choice, and so do you. And I understand, that your parents might feel disappointed or whatever, but they'll become happy when they see you're happy with the choices that you're making, and that you're not making bad choices. I mean, at one point in time, my mom wanted me to be a nurse, and she said I had a mouth to be a lawyer, but I didn't want to choose that path. I wanted something different. I am a helper at heart, and I'm always the person that lends that shoulder for somebody to lean on, and when they got something to talk about, they want to open up about. I'm always that person that's there to listen. and to help them through, and sometimes just to listen, because sometimes people want to talk about things and they don't want your opinion about it. They just want to talk about it and get it off their chest. And then if they ask you for your opinion, then give it then. But sometimes just let people open up and get that stuff off of them, because if not, it's going to build up on them, and it's going to be very, very damaging to your emotions, and then it leads to other things, and that's what we don't want. We want to live life a little bit more open, so that we have room to take in the necessities that help our life be a lot easier. I know sometimes people are they're struggling with a lot of things in this world, along with what's going on with the pandemic and everything, and it's hindering a lot of people from doing the things that they used to do. But it's time that we sit down and write things out about what we want to do and how we're going to adapt to this change that's happening into our life and in this world right now. And that's going to start with our minds. It's going to start with what we think that is best for yourself and your children and your families and so forth. Get down and get a notebook, get a notepad, or an iPad or whatever, and you can write things on it too, whatever it is. But take the time to really think things through, so you can start figuring out the actions that you need to take to make your life a lot less stressful. I know people are struggling with finding jobs, and the way things look, we're going to have to reinvent ourselves. We're going to have to take the time to figure out what it is that we really want to do that's going to serve others, that's going to do good to others, and it's going to be fulfilling to you too. Sometimes you might have to take on something you don't want to do to get where you want to get to. And I used to didn't understand that when I was younger, but I understand it now as an adult, because sometimes you do have to take on things you don't want to take on in order for you to get where you're trying to get to. And you never know who you'll meet along the way, because everybody has something in them that can help somebody else out. But we don't know if we don't open that book of our life to other people and try to communicate and get off our chest the struggles that we're going through. I struggle with the things with my household. My biggest struggle is my son, which he's developing a lot better now, but it scared me when he was diagnosed with rickets at a year old, and I wondered, I used to wonder why it was taking him so long to learn how to walk, when I didn't even know the rickets was causing him to be in pain, so he couldn't put the pressure on his joints and his bones and stuff. It really was irritating to him, and I didn't know, and it made me feel like I was a bad parent because I didn't know. But that's the thing, we don't know these things until we find out. And now, he's 3 years old. He's really developing a whole lot better. We got it under control. He needed calcium. He needed vitamin D supplements to help him to build that strength back up in his bones that he needed. But like I said, we're parents, but we're not born with the knowledge of everything and obstacle that can come our way when it comes to our children. So that's why I say with our mindset, we have to really think things through so that we can get the best outcome. And I had to think things through. Like, I had to figure out what was going on. After he turned a year old, he wasn't gaining weight. He wasn't losing weight, but he wasn't gaining weight neither. And it was like, something is wrong, because I have 2 older children and it didn't go through that. But there was something different with him. So I had to sit down and really think it through and be like, you know what? I do need to go ahead and see what's going on and figure out this thing so that my son ain't suffering, so he can start developing and doing the things that I know he's capable of doing. And now he's running and jumping and flipping and doing all kinds of stuff now. Whereas if I didn't talk and try to figure out what was going on, it would have been a little bit worse for him now. So whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're dealing with, whether it's trying to find a job, whether it's to tell your significant other about issues that's going on with your relationship, whether it's to issues that's going on with your parents, if it's something that you need to get your mind settled so that you can live life a little less stressful, then open up to somebody, talk to somebody, get an understanding, feel, so that they can help you, guide you through that obstacle that you may be facing at that time. And I guarantee you, if you talk to somebody is facing the same thing that you're facing. There's a whole lot of things that I faced and I was scared to talk to other people about at a younger age, that really hurted me because I didn't open up and talk. So this is why I created this channel, Open Book, because you need to open up yourself and your life to other people so they can pour into you the things that you need to make life a lot easier on you. If you find yourself still struggling, not knowing what to do, I have some suggestions to help you along the way. One is from Robbins. If you have read or even seen her podcast or whatever, she's a very awesome person that really helps you out with a lot of tools when it comes to your life and getting yourself back on track. I loved her book, The 5-Second Rule, because it reprograms your brain to stop it from sabotaging yourself, from making mistakes, from doing stuff that you might have wouldn't have done if you didn't stop your brain from telling you not to do it, because your brain is wired to stop you, so to keep you protected, even though it might not be protecting you. But that's a tool that I'll suggest for you. I'll leave a link down at the bottom of this video so that you can have access to it and get the book and read it. The book really helped me out a lot on a lot of different things, because at one point in time I was a procrastinator, and procrastination is not really good to have in your life. Another source that could help you out with meditations to get your mind leveled so that you can think things more clearly, think about things that could help you out in the long term, is by Joe Dispenza. He's a meditation expert, and he has several books, but I want to tell you about two. One is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Love Your Mind and Create a New One. And another book is that he has written, is called You Are the Placebo, Making Your Mind Matter. And he is awesome with meditations. You can look him up also on YouTube. You can also look him up in Amazon too for the books. And he has people have a couple of his meditations on YouTube too, to really help you out with clearing your mind and adjusting yourself so that you can live life a lot fuller. I use a meditation on a day-to-day basis. I take about 20 to 30 minutes a day to do meditations, and it really helped me clear my mind on a lot of things. And I know that it can help you out too, especially if you're struggling with just living on a day-to-day basis, because I know a lot of us out here are struggling. And I don't want you to struggle anymore. I want you to be able to get yourself up, pick yourself back up, and hit that road running so that you can live the life you want to live more peacefully. So on that note, I want to thank you for tuning in. And until the next time we open up another chapter of the Open Book. Bye.